My name's Phil, and I have aphasia. But my goal is to talk about other people's stories too. Remember, it's your voice. There's no way around it. The only way to get better is to practice. Now, you don't have to be like me, but you need to be able to talk and listen to other people's stories too. Like this one right here. Hi, this is Aphasia Phil with Eric Jackson, and he wants to tell his story.
Good afternoon, Phil, and thank you for letting me be on your podcast. I want to start real quick with a shirt I have. Oh, God, forget the background. I'm sorry. You don't know these backgrounds. But again, my name is Eric Jackson. I am 56 now, and I will tell you my stroke journey till then, up until now.
Good.
I had to write his name down. I was listening to one of your podcasts with James Jett, and he he um he said something that sometimes I kind of gloss over, and it is part of my story. And I'll start with this. The fall of 2012, I had what's called a TIA, a mini stroke.
Okay.
And what I did is I ignored it. And this is what happened. I was I was going to my kitchen, and all of a sudden I forget which arm, but my left arm got totally numb, and I just started to speak, and it came out real gibberish. Now, from me going to the kitchen back to my living room, it might have been 30 whole seconds. But after I got back and sat down, it was over.
Oh.
I can talk normally. My arm wasn't numb, so I ignored it. So fast forward to March of 2013 is when I had my actual ischemic stroke.
Okay.
And what happened with that is I was watching one of my favorite tournaments, March Madness, and I went to the bathroom, and as I was coming out, I was not feeling too well, and I started to throw up. And I never throw up, so I really didn't know what was happening. I'm thinking maybe it's food poisoning. That's something I've never had before either. So I was kind of a fog of what's happening. But what did happen is when I finished and I tried to do my best to clean up, I felt very weak, I'm sorry, and I crawled to my bed and just went to sleep. It wasn't until the next day where I put my feet on the ground and I started to stand up, and gravity just pulled me right back down.
Oh.
And I realized I had no balance. And I just tried to speak, and I never lost what I wanted to say, but you just couldn't understand what I was saying. So after I went to the ER, did the test. I'm trying to look at the blood pressure machine. I didn't have my glasses on, so I couldn't really read it. But the doctor came in and he said you had a stroke. And I really had no reaction whatsoever because one, I was there all day and I just wanted to leave, to be honest. And second, I really couldn't define what a stroke was because I knew absolutely nothing about it. So when I luckily started physical therapy and speech therapy because the stroke was a clot back in my brain, affected my right side as far as balance and strength, and also affected my speech. And I did both at the same time. It might have been, physical therapy in the AM, speech therapy in the PM. But unfortunately, I was not working at the time, so my insurance that I did have just ran out. So basically, speech and physical therapy was about, I'm going to say, 4 sessions each.
That's it.
And and then it was it because I had no insurance.
Oh yeah.
So what I did is, as far as the physical therapy part was, I did a lot of balancing exercises, and I did get some of my strength back as far as just to walk. And I said, you know what? I'm just gonna walk. That was my physical therapy for then. Um, I'm near a community college that has, the oval track, and I just started to walk the track. First time out, it might have taken me 15 minutes, and I was tired and I was sweating, a quarter of a mile. But every day I went back just to improve. And, at the end of the summer, I was up to about 4 or 5 miles,
Wow.
and I was feeling it. I was really feeling it, that I'm getting back to whatever, normalcy there is. And as far as the speech therapy, uh, I don't know if you ever done speech therapy, Phil, but
I do it. Yeah, I do it every Monday.
it-
Chelsea, my speech pathologist, see speech. Yeah,
okay,
we've been doing this for a while.
okay. Basically, what she did was obviously a lot of enunciating exercises, a lot of tongue twisters, which I joked. I said I couldn't do these before the stroke, and you want me to do this now? So, and then the interesting thing, which still questions me today, is we did Google text as far as a method to see how the speech would pick up on, I guess, a digital device. And
Okay.
so common words that sound the same, can't think of one right now, but if I would say something, there might be one word difference, and that's the word in question where it might have picked up one word where I was saying another one.
Okay.
And I always thought that was me. And even to this day, I still think it's me because I haven't really researched digital technology as far as what it entails, as far as, going in and going out, as far as the speech. Um, so after that, I would just pick up anything, bottle of whatever, uh, magazine, book,
So
and
you do is determined to get better, no matter what.
yes, and
Yeah.
I just read out loud,
Wow.
and
Okay.
I can see or hear, if you, that it was getting better, and I kept that up for a while. And what I quickly found out within maybe 4 or 5 years is that I always say my voice is like a gas tank. Beginning of the day, I'm good to go. I'm at full tank. If I talk most of the day, say around 4 or 5 o'clock or later than that, you and myself, I can feel my voice decreasing as far as the volume, as far as the enunciation. It
Say that
definitely
one more
gets.
time. Say that one more time.
Oh, sure. At the end of the day, if I talk most of the day, I can feel my voice decreasing as
Okay.
far as volume, enunciation. You will actually hear me slur some words. So I have regulated, I know what to do as far as during a day. If I don't have to talk, I won't. Um, Today, I talked very little until about 3 o'clock. So my voice is about, I'll say it's about an 8 right now, as
Hmm.
far as, I think. If we did this maybe at 7, you can tell right away my voice is not what it is right now.
Yeah, for me, like right now, because I'm imitating you. It's easier. For me, it's like I'm glad you're talking. Instead of me like we go keep going.
But that was my therapy as far as speech and physical. Um, as far as the physical, I was at a stroke meeting at my local hospital, ran into a gentleman whose son had a stroke, and he was part of the rehabilitation gym. I never heard of it, and I'm literally a mile and a half from this hospital. And so I joined the gym, started on my strength training, and maybe I'm going to say about a year, I really again felt that I was back to having some strength on my right side, and just had to balance that my left side was stronger than my right side, which was my affected side. Just really, if I was doing anything one handed, I can do maybe 10 reps with my left hand, maybe 8 reps with my right hand. And I still do that today. I know that, where the strength is.
Yep.
And the speech part, it really didn't come into play until I started working part time, which was about, I'm going to say about 5 years after my stroke.
Okay.
So at that time, I was working 20 hours a day, but it was like 2 12-hour days. So I was talking all day.
Okay. I was like,
And
those times like 1, 2, 5, 10.
yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
I can't do this now.
And so I realized that, again, the gas tank was in effect. And the people I worked with, that's when I would get, can you repeat that, or can you say that again? So I knew my voice was where it was. It wasn't where I wanted it to be, but it was where it was.
Mm-hmm.
And every once in a while, the physical part, like I might just not to go through it, but we stepped out of a van. I would hit the floor and maybe I wouldn't stay still. I might move to my right, maybe 2 steps, move to my left, 2 steps, just because my balance wasn't 100%. And it
Yeah.
still isn't. So, again, just education of where I was. And just to fast forward just 2 years ago, I started a job where it was a typing job, and also it was a on the phone job. And me and my supervisor, we talked, love her to death. She protected me from day one because she knew that my typing dexterity skills and my talking skills wasn't up to everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I realized that I wanted to work on my dexterity, my typing skills. And that's when, this is maybe a year ago, this is when I started to look up aphasia. And I said to myself, well, I still have problems speaking, but nobody really told me. My speech therapist, she might have told me, but this is 12 years ago. I forget. I totally forget. Um, but say she didn't tell me. I didn't know of what aphasia was until about a year ago.
Okay.
And that's when I started to do research and went online and started to try to link up with everybody that I could with that had or has aphasia with at the aphasia, and that's where I'm at right now. And I just noticed that I would talk to a couple of speech therapists, um, language therapists at different universities and companies, just to try to get into a research study. And every one of them said that I was not good for the study because I talked too well. That's nice to hear, but that's not the truth.
Yeah. No.
um, I I want to be evaluated. I said, okay, am I here? I'd like to be here. What can we do to bridge that gap?
I have a question for you. You should be
Yes.
a Toastmaster. Of all the information to be a Toastmaster, because there's people talking, and a lot of people with aphasia know how to talk, and they be a Toastmaster and get better.
Is that out of Boston University, Phil?
I don't know where they're at. Do you
Okay.
do you do you get my research paper I got on my
Yes,
resources?
that
Yeah,
was very, very informative.
it's in there. If it's not in there, I'll get people to talk about, because I think when the Toastmasters, they're all around the world, on the wild world.
Okay. Okay.
I'll get you more information either way.
Because what I've done, like I have a stroke folder, just bookmarking everything. I might have that on there, but just in case I don't, I'm gonna write it down myself right now. So that's again my homework to do as
T-
far as
Toastmaster.
aphasia.
Aphasia, yeah.
But basically, not again to fast forward 12 years today, I have a semblance of strength back. I have my voice back, and I'm happy with what I accomplished, but I still want to do more. And I think that's the indecisiveness I have right now as far as maybe not over volunteering, but I definitely want to play the bills, but I do want to be in that community as far as stroke survivors and aphasia.
And go.
Yeah, but basically, my 12-year journey, if you will, it's not done yet, but I'm feeling a little indecisive as far as being ardent about something. I want to be passionate about something, and right now, I'm not feeling it. I still want to help any way I can, and I definitely want to talk to. I like telling my story. I have no problem telling my story because it will help people. Hopefully,
Yes.
if it helps one person, I'm happy. And doing volunteering, working with American Heart Association, working with certain hospitals,
You need to be an ambassador for National Aphasia Association. Ambassador.
and actually, Phil, I have a Zoom with them on Wednesday.
Yes,
Thanks to
good.
you. I have a Zoom.
Good.
Denise, I believe her
Yep.
name. I have a Zoom with her Wednesday, so that
Good.
we are on the track for doing that.
Good.
I'm definitely looking forward to that as well.
It was because of me. I want other people to listen. Besides there's hope, like you can find a place to talk about other people and tell other people's stories. Because a lot of people, like a lot of people, don't know what happened to them, and especially there's hope. And like
Yes,
you said, if it helps one person, you're happy.
yes,
Yeah.
it's true, and I've I've uh I've heard that sentiment in the past.
I
It
didn't need,
makes me feel great.
neither me either. I didn't either until it happened. Like,
Yeah,
well, I get it now.
yeah. Now the like I said, the best compliment that I like to get is I would have never known you had a stroke unless you told me. I love it. I love it. I mean, I should mark it down every time I hear it
Mm-hmm.
because that you put in the work and you'll get results.
I'll tell this everyone else. If you don't put the work, you won't get any better. Like
No.
I tell everybody, I'll tell anyone who listens, and for me, I'll talk to them if you want to or not. I don't care. You're listening to me.
Yes.
And the fact, if you don't put in the work, you'll never get any better. You get a little better if you do. Even if you go and do a speech teacher once a week, you'll get a little better. But the work comes from you.
Yes. Yes.
There's no way around that.
All I went back. This goes back to when I was doing my physical therapy while walking around the track. You know how you have, devil on one shoulder, angel on the other.
Yeah.
I used that for my mom and my dad. Now, my dad is not the devil. He's just old school, Harlem broad and bred, um, hard nosed. That's what it was.
Yeah.
That's what it was. And my mom was your typical mom. She was my cheerleader. So every time I'm walking on my left shoulder, I hear my mom going, "You can do it. I'm so proud of you. You're doing great. I'm glad you're doing this," so forth and so on. Then I got my dad going, it's 5:30. How come you didn't get up at 5 to start your therapy? You better do this one lap because hopefully in time you can do two laps. And don't every once in a while, if you don't feel up to it, that's fine, but get right back to it the next day.
At least you have.
So I had back mom and dad on both
But you
shoulders
know
doing
they're
my rehab.
double and evil, but they're both helping for you. There's no
Yes.
difference.
And my parents passed away, but that's exactly how it would go if they were still here. My dad would probably call me at 4:30 and going, "Are you up yet? Or are you stretching?" And then my mom would go, "Just to leave him alone. He knows what he's doing. He'll be fine." And I mean, I love my parents, and I definitely had them in my head all the time as far as doing all type of rehab. And even today, when I do speech therapy, self speech therapy, if you will, and just working out, doing some exercises, some strength exercises, some yoga, definitely a big influence. And it's definitely important to have a great circle of people to support you.
You need that. You need that.
Now, I don't have I don't have a big circle, but I have a an important circle of the people that know. I have friends from high school that I've known for 35 years,
Yeah.
and I have new friends that haven't they you know what they haven't met me post stroke, so they are amazed of what I can do now. And I said, well, I had to. I didn't want to. I didn't know. I didn't want to know what was going to be if I did nothing. So I said, you know what? Let me do something.
Like that.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you.
Yes.
So now, because we're going to be gone soon, what would you say for other people, especially for black people or not black people, but people of color? Would you have for other people like that? Because for me, I like white people and black people. Black people, I need for me, I want to other people saying you need help and there's people to help you. There's groups, and for me, I was saying, listen, you have to have a speech pathologist. You'll never get any better. So, what do you think about that?
Well, first of all, again, I want to thank you for getting me onto that meeting. What is it, every other Monday? As
Which
far
I
as
think it sucks. It should be every week, but they can't now. But
yes,
I'm trying to change that for myself. Something else later on.
if you need help with that, let me know. I would
Well,
love for it to
well,
be once a week.
well, I was talking to the people in NNA group, and I'm saying, what if I do it every other week right now? And we're seeing how it works, but that's later on. But yeah, I'm doing that. It's my goal.
That's good. Um, but based on that, not to be glum, but you know how the black race has been behind on everything since day one, if you will, and that's all I'll say about that. So that group is very important. It's the one Zoom group that I found, again, thanks to you, that it's all people of color as far as what has happened with them as far as any type of brain injury or stroke or aphasia. And that's important because we do need that.
Yeah,
Not many other people are going to help you as far as to put together a group of that ilk. So, if you, I mean, any race, color, or creed, but if you happen to be part of color, definitely speak out because you know so many people will take for granted that, oh, it's I'm not important. I'm not the one who should be a voice because there's other people that are being a voice. But okay, that's fine. But there's not that many people of color doing that.
yep,
And so that group was very important. I was very very unhappy that I had to miss the last week. But just that meeting, Phil, when I opened it and just saw 30 black people, it just made me smile because it was different.
Yes.
It was so different, and as a black person, um, if you've done your research, that there are so many groups that are out there that doesn't have say a black presence or a black leader, and that's missing when if you do a Zoom and you have 30 white people or 30 non-color people, that's fine, but definitely step up saying that I'm going through this too, and whatever the ratio is, it's definitely, let's say that the 8% or the 5%, it's always got to be that way, but we have to have a voice so we can be heard.
Cool. Good. Recording that.
Recording stopped.
Now remember, subscribe, please.